I remember reading this quote, which I loved so much, which just said, "Those who are depressed or sad live in the past. Those who are anxious live in the future. And those who are truly happy live in the present moment." And I feel like there is a lot of power in that quote. Welcome everyone to LifewithLiza podcast. Our mission at LifewithLiza is to share people's stories and the challenges that they have overcome, so that those who are listening in can get the strength, the courage, and the hope to be their better selves. And I wanted to say hello to you joining in this episode, for you being here. And I'm so happy and grateful that you are trusting me with your time and energy and being here and listening into this episode. And the topic of today's episode is I would say it's more on the philosophical side of life and what is life about. And something that I've been thinking recently is one of the biggest constants of life is change. And we as humans, we don't like change. So we try to hold on to things being or staying the way they are. And that causes us suffering because life is about change. So when we don't accept the reality the way it is, and we try to amend it towards how we would like it to be, then it causes a lot of suffering. Whereas if we actually accepted the reality the way it is, and in our case that the change is inevitable, that the people with whom you used to be best friends with would not be your friends at one point, and it would feel like you're talking to strangers. The country where you used to live in, you might not live there anymore. You might be somewhere else in a different part of the world. The way things used to be with your family, with your partner, might also be very different. And this is all, and not necessarily worse. It could also be better. But the interesting part is that change is guaranteed. Your body will change, your relationships will change, everything about life and about your experience of life will also be changing. And I think what really helps me is to, in all of this craziness and all of these unknowns, what really helps me personally is to know that the change will come, but I get to enjoy this present moment. I get to enjoy this very present moment in this current life circumstances in which I am, in my health, exactly the way I am right now, and I get to appreciate it. And that grounds me to the present moment. And the present moment is the only moment where we are truly alive, because the past does not exist and the future does not exist yet. And when we focus on the present moment, we feel the most alive. And also knowing that things will change helps us appreciate the present moment. Of course, it also sounds scary and frustrating and maybe sometimes hopeful, but also that grounds us in the present moment. And I remember reading this quote, which I loved so much, which just said, "Those who are depressed or sad live in the past. Those who are anxious live in the future. And those who are truly happy live in the present moment." And I feel like there is a lot of power in that quote, because if you are constantly living in your past, reliving some of your past experiences, and not so much in the present or in the future, it is quite easy to be sad and depressed, because also your mind will be replaying some of the saddest moments of your life, because your mind or your brain tries to protect you. So it will play or replay those moments from your life that were the most that had left the biggest emotional impact. And if you, as the quote says, and if you feel anxious, or if those who feel anxious live in the future, That's also true, because there's so much of the unknown in the future, and it's and so many things could go wrong, and your mind is so great at anticipating all the worst case scenarios, again, to protect you and me. But sometimes it's not helpful, because what could be quite interesting is that in this very present moment there could be absolutely nothing wrong, and you can be sitting in this present moment and thinking about all of those worst case scenarios that could potentially happen in the future, and that would make you so anxious, and that would actually ruin your present moment. You will feel anxious now in the present moment. So instead of just feeling anxious maybe once in the future, once that horrible event happens, you're feeling it multiple times through your life just by imagining that situation, and you're doing that just by a thought alone. So you're wasting this present moment on the future that might never happen, but you're losing this present moment which may never come back and will not come back. I hope this video helps you, or this episode really helps you to start being more present in where you are right now, just in your daily life, to enjoy the small things, to enjoy drinking this glass of water in the morning, or enjoy your morning cup of coffee or matcha or tea. Just really sit there and being present with that cup of whatever warm beverage you choose, of your the warm beverage of your choice, and to really enjoy it. Enjoy the aroma, enjoy the warmth, be very present, and you will feel so relieved, so happy, because many times there is nothing wrong with our present moment, and actually there's so much to be grateful for in this very present moment. And it's very important for us to take a moment to realize how much there truly is to be grateful for. There is so many sources of happiness also in the present moment. So I really do hope that this episode helps you to be grounded, helps you to be in the present moment, and realize that life is transient, and all we truly have is this very present moment. So let's use it, let's be wise about it. I hope you did enjoy this episode, and if you did, please be sure to subscribe to this channel, to like this video, and share it with someone. And I'll see you in the next episode.